Okay, here we go. It's go time. Mew time. Kind of nervous. Putting a weak guy in front. Wasn't really going to use Sparrow until I traded him. If it wasn't obvious, that's what he's there for. But the level difference is about right. But yeah, Mew has such good stats that I think Pound is just doing so much damage because of that, even though there's a level difference. See, I'm a bit annoyed it didn't get him into the red, because we'll lose the Sparrow if we try and hit him again. Leech Seed will kill it. The trouble with Mew is he's low level, but he'll break out of a Pokeball because he's so strong, I guess. That was always the case when you got the Mew glitch Mew in red and yellow and blue. So it's probably going to take a ton of these, but fortunately Seedling's quite tanky and can refresh the sleep powder as needed. Yeah, I'm just busting straight out of there, bad motherfucker. And he's up. Get back to sleep. Sleep powder rocks. Like, yeah, I think that's a great thing about Bulbasaur versus the other starters is sleep powder and Leech Seed is a way to get stuff low HP with not fainting it, and sleep powder is, you know, things catch easier with a status effect. Whereas Charmander and Squirtle, you just hit them and hope they don't die and get them low enough to catch. Mew's kind of like a little cat, so I named him after my cat. I always do. And it sets up the pun name for Mewtwo as well if I ever get that far. And we have a Mew, so I guess we can get out of this little island now. So it's funny, you know, because part of me was like always sad when I play Fire Red, oh, there's not the Mew glitch that was in the classic ones. But then I was like, when I had a few casualties, I was like, fuck, I could really have done with a Mew, you know, a strong team member. But here we are, like, we managed to actually manage to get a Mew in the game. I guess that's a benefit of Ultraviolet. The only thing I'm concerned about with this ROM hack is it's added more legendaries, at least one, I mean, that I know of. Well, I guess 2 of the dogs, right? There's probably 3 dogs in there, at least 1. But yeah, I'm concerned that he actually tells you to go in the machine. Isn't that weird? I tried it by accident, but in this one he actually tells you, but that's crazy. Just tried it because I saw Let's Go and I was like, where's the Nidorino, you know? Not on him up front. Imagine if he couldn't escape from something in the grass and then got killed instantly. I forgot what I was bloody saying. But yeah, it's just good to have got him. Hopefully he'll help the team. It'd be embarrassing if he died while I was trying to level him up. So the cool thing is we now should be able to get TM Dig and access to the daycare, which means I can throw old Carpy in there. Start the process to becoming a Gyarados. And we never have to worry about catching a Magikarp whenever we fish. Or a Gyarados, I suppose. Better heal up. Now, for some reason, he's a rocket and he's like on his own and stuff, so I'm thinking he might have Eradicate with Hyper Fang, which really makes me nervous because, you know, what I should have done is trained up and used the Mew, but I also don't want to waste the time that could be leveling my Magikarp up. Good old Magic, so it's a tough one. I think that's what I'm deliberating over here. In hindsight, couldn't I probably have snuck past the rocket? That would have been so much smarter, but alas. I'm always checking the levels on this a lot, if you've noticed, because I'm paranoid about over-leveling. I have a list of levels of the next rivals and gym leaders. Mankey or Sandshrew. It'd be good for Mankey because he's quite weak. Here we go, 2 Pokemon. And I'm a Chop, which his Karate Chop's worrying, but we're a level higher than him. We should be fine. If I can get 3 or 4 strikes on a thing. And then fuck. This is like exactly what we didn't want to happen, but I never thought a low kick would. I thought fighting would be slightly resistant to fighting, or at least. And low kick's weaker than Karate Chop and less likely to crit. I just had no consideration that he could be one-shotted. And he doesn't have Eradicate. See, I was thinking of using my fighting move on his Raticate or Rattata, try and knock him out before he uses Hyper Fang, but fuck. Gutted. Absolutely gutted. He was my, like, 3rd Pokemon caught, 4th in the party. He's just about to level up as well. He never made it to Primeape, which is like he was named for. This game is savage. And yeah, again, the only not good thing about this, but the only silver lining is like I absolutely any residual guilt I had about is the Mew going to be overpowered? It's like fuck you. If the game's going to fuck me in this way, I'm having a fucking Mew. He's only 1 person as well, and if I over level him, I can't use him in a battle. So I don't think it's too unreasonable, to be honest. But yeah, we got the excitement of getting Dig and finishing Cerulean is been minimised. Told the guy I retrieved the TM. It's stupid, isn't it? He basically says he doesn't give it to you. He just assumes it's lost forever, and then your character, I guess, takes that as license to keep it, which is a bit sketchy. I feel like you should at least offer it to him, unless it's sort of implied that he did. Maybe the Japanese wording is different. But yeah, there should be a Pokemon in that area too. But I want to get Magic away. So with Magic in the daycare, we now have 2 slots to fill, effectively. But one of them is obviously going to be taken by Mew, so that's easy. Rest in peace with your comrades. So diminish the hype of having a Mew. And I guess it's Jigglypuff sucks, and I guess that the Paris is like, oh, I feel guilty that I caught a 2nd Pokemon thing, and maybe I'll only use him for cut or something like that. So Paris, my thinking is if I use him at all, it will be like last. So really that only leaves Zubat as the reservist for the team. But we're about to hopefully get a new Pokemon here, and we have encountered one. Let's chuck a Leech Seed on him. I quite like Meowths, they're cute. Throw a Sleep Powder on him. And then it's a case of, do we start throwing Pokeballs immediately, or do we wait till he gets into the lower parts of the health? I figure Pokeballs are pretty cheap and we can't catch many Pokemon in total, so fuck it. Nice, straight in. I wonder how the wounding works. I thought you had to get them to yellow or red, and that was kind of the point of those colours, to show that it's affected something. But so we used to have a cat, and my siblings had a cat that was actually a relative of that cat, and it was a male one, and it was called Dave, which is funny because, as I talked about in an earlier part, giving an animal a really human name that's not very cute. And also theirs was funny because it was an expensive cat. It was a special cat. And so, like, just to give it a regular ass name was just, I thought it was such a good bit. But yeah, we're back to having a full team, although we have this Bellsprout, which is, we got 2 Flyings and 2 Grass, which is just not great coverage. The Bellsprout is completely superfluous. I even forgot to name him. If he survives to the name rater, he'll earn a name. I will name him. But yeah, Sparrow is going to be traded for Ducks, the Farfetch'd in Vermillion is the plan. And the reason I want the Farfetch'd is because, like I said, I can catch a Thero anyway if I come across one under the rules I'm playing. But also, Farfetch'd actually learns False Swipe. It's one of the, I think, like 4 classic Pokemon that I know of that should be in this game. And False Swipe's great because it gets the enemy Pokemon, any Pokemon can knock them down to 1 HP and can't kill them, however many times you hit them with it. So it's perfect for catching Pokemon. My thinking is especially legendaries. And as horrible as it sounds, if I'm using him to catch wild Pokemon, if he somehow gets killed by, say, a legendary, then he wasn't my main team guy anyway. He's like a utility Pokemon. It's kind of like having a Pokemon for HMs, but this is for a more specific use. So, yeah. So I'm concerned about over-leveling for the rival battle, so this is why I'm hiding from the trainers. We already have a Bellsprout, so we don't have to take this. It's not shiny either. And yet another grass Pokemon, but it's new, so we got to go with it. I figured Vine Whip, because it's not effective, won't accidentally kill it, but it's hitting it it's too weak that it will take years to catch, and it's annoying. So also I'm a bit careless because we don't need another grass Pokemon realistically. So again, same old procedure, wound him a bit. We can't seed him in this case because he's grass. I think he just is unaffected. Get a tackle, try and get him into the yellow or red health. Play it safe. Lob a ball. And you don't get experience for catching Pokemon in this generation. I think it came in the next one or the one after or something. Yeah, so I was thinking like Dish for the name, but then I was thinking like Dish Soap would be funny, but I think it's too long. And then I was thinking Dish Soap, I'd put a brand name like Fairy, but then there is a Fairy type and this is not one, and it doesn't really make sense. I always like tenuous nicknames that are like a few degrees of separation, but in the end I was like, fuck it, because this guy is not going to be, unless something goes horribly wrong and we wipe a lot, he's probably not going to be on the team much. So, yeah, don't need to put too much thought into his name. There should be items on this underground path, that's why I keep clicking. So it's kind of weird. But yeah, that's, so we've had, 3 new recruits and 1 casualty in this part. But we got up to the daycare, we got a TM, so it's just Misty we're leaving. Misty's weird because her Pokemon, I think, are higher level than the rivals even on the boat, but she only has the 2, and one of them is much lower than the other. So she's sort of like, yeah. That's why it's like, if you just do it based on their highest level, it's so odd with the how many Pokemon they have situation. So going to train Mika up next. But yeah, I believe I'm switching because I realised if I've got a second superfluous grass Pokemon, Soap is higher. So I'll probably swap him for Bellsprout. Save some training. I feel like he's stronger too, but I'm not an expert on either of them. So he's got good spreader moves. Stun Spore, it's good. Poison Powder's decent. Checking out the stats too. I feel like if I've leveled Bellsprout at all, we might have sort of better stats than Main Court Wild, even though he's lower level, but I really actually need to start looking at abilities. I haven't been paying attention to that. I really should. I think I have one kick in at some point in a battle. OCD kicking in, shuffling them around. Again, sorting by level. I couldn't remember if when you trade a Pokemon with someone, whether they it's traded at your level or if it's a set level, because in hindsight I didn't do it, but in hindsight I'm thinking Sparrow, I could have left him in the daycare, leveled him up to the level I want the Farfetch'd and then trade, but alas, that didn't work.